We've been working on our STEM project, which is all about making earthquake-proof structure that's 15 inches high. And if you have missed anything, I just want to reiterate, this project will be worth 33% of your total grade. So it's a pretty big deal, unless we do another STEM project, which could reduce its impact. But I just wanted to give you that perspective. That's a third of your grade. So if you do well, that could really bring up your grade. But if you're not doing your best work, it could take it down. So I wanted to set you up for success. And that's what I want to talk about here. Your project is made up of 4 parts. The first part is the slides. That's this. This is the Waves STEM journal. And you can find it in the Schoology course if you look for Waves STEM journal. If you haven't already done so, click on it, make a copy of it, and share it with Robert_Miller, just like you normally would. That's the first thing to do. Now, the other thing to keep in mind with this particular journal is you want to just be careful to fill it out carefully and accurately. This slideshow, which will have the rest of this week and a little bit of next week to complete, and it looks like a lot, but it really isn't that bad if you do it a little bit at a time, it's going to be worth 60% of your grade. So the slides, which when I say slides, I'm talking about your Waves STEM journal. That's going to account for 60% of the project's score, okay? It's not 60% of your total class grade, rather of this project, all right? So the 33% that I was talking about earlier is for the entire project. So if we're talking about the whole project, it's 33% of your grade. Now, 60% of that project is going to be the Waves journal, all right? The next 20% of your grade is going to be based on this packet that hopefully you picked up. If you were out, you may not have gotten it yet, but it's got a couple places to draw pictures of your designs, to do some calculations, and then at the end, there's a place for the presentation. Again, please don't get overwhelmed. I know this can seem like a lot, but I just want to give you the big picture. That packet is going to account for 20% of your grade. The remaining 20% will be split into 2 parts. One part has to do with collaboration, how well you work together with your teammates, and how on task you are during the work time. That's one part of it. And then the bottom part here, and again, that collaboration is 10%. And the last 10% will be for the presentation. And I'll give you more details about that, but it should be very doable. So I think if you are very careful to fill out your slides in your packet, that's an easy 80% right there. And then hopefully you're working, so that's a 90% automatically, and hopefully you'll do at least halfway decent on the presentation. So I'm hoping that this is a really good boost to your grade if you take it seriously. Now, let me show you what you're to work on today. The first thing you want to do, of course, if you haven't already done so, is identify the problem. And you're going to state it right here, and this is in the slides that you have shared with me. Now, if you look at the first page of your packet right here, you can see what the problem is, and you can summarize that when you state it here, okay? That's part 1. Next, you're going to watch the videos and do some research, all right? So one part is, hey, what did you observe from the video you watched? And then the other part is, what did you learn from your classmates? If you have been out and you're not sure what group you're in yet, what you can do is just make sure that you write down some thoughts for one video you watch and then for another video you watch. And you can find the videos on Schoology. Look for the folder called Research right here. Open it up and just watch 2 of these videos. All right, next step, if you go back to the slides, is to sketch a vision of what you're going to create. This is a drawing of your design. Now, this is your design, not your group's design yet. So if you look at your packet, right here, there's a place for you to do a sketch, okay? So you're going to sketch out what you would make your structure look like with toothpicks and marshmallows and put it here. Then you're going to take a picture of that like you've done before, and you're going to insert it right here in your design. Right here on the slide. And of course, you can go up to Insert, and you can do Image, and then Camera and take a picture, or you could take a picture with the built-in camera app on your iPad and just upload it from your device and place it here. However you do it, put the picture of your design from this packet right here, okay? The next thing you're going to do is come down here to design costs. All right, I'm going to fill this in with you really quick just because I think this could be confusing. So let me make sure I give this to you. The first thing you want to do is write down a box of toothpicks and how much it costs. So the toothpicks are going to cost $3.78. All right, and that's 800 toothpicks in a box. So that comes down to 1 cent per 2 toothpicks. It's important to, let me take that away again. For each two, or sorry, it's a penny for 2 toothpicks, or half a cent per toothpicks. But since we wrote 1 cent, we're going to put a 2 over toothpicks here. And then you're going to have to calculate how many toothpicks your design that you drew up here in this box uses, so you can figure out, okay, how much is that going to cost? Like, for instance, if you use 20 toothpicks and you get 2 toothpicks for each penny, then that's going to cost you 10 cents. All right, next step. A bag of marshmallows costs $4.98. And has approximately 540 marshmallows in it. It uses, so you're going to have to look at your design again and see how many marshmallows you use in your design. So another piece of information you're going to need is each marshmallow, and you probably want to write this on the side. For 1 cent, you get 1 marshmallow. Okay, so each marshmallow costs 1 cent. I probably should write marshmallow so you don't think millimeters. There we go. Abbreviated. Okay. So if you use 20 marshmallows, that's going to be 20 cents. All right. And then add up your cost for toothpicks and your cost for marshmallows, and that's going to be total cost of your model. All right. Now, the next thing you're going to do, don't worry about this page here. It's just filled in and it's not going to be changeable. That's all right. The next thing you're going to do is, once you've totaled your costs, that gives you an idea of like how far your money is going to stretch, how far you can go, how many materials you can get using your budget. Because every group is going to get a total of 50 cents. Okay, so let me go back and do it this way. 50 cents total. So you should have kind of an idea of how much you can buy with 50 cents. And your group is going to sketch a design down here on the group's design. You should all have the same design. And then what you're going to do is go back through that same process using the same amounts that I had mentioned before, like, for instance, the $3.78 for toothpicks. They have 800 per box. And the amount per toothpick is 1 cent per 2 toothpicks. And then you're going to have to calculate how much it uses. Same thing down here, $4.98 for a bag of marshmallows. And it has a total of 540. And you remember that each marshmallow costs about a cent. All right. You're going to have to figure out, okay, how many did I use and what was the cost, and then add it all together. That way, you know how much money you have left. And I'd encourage you to think about not spending all your money, because you are going to have to revise and you want to have a little bit left over. So I would buy less than you could afford in total. Like, save some of your money so later you can come back and rebuild. You want to put, this is important, the amount of money that your group design costs, that amount should go right here beside your design picture. So either just type it in or take a picture of it. It says insert photo here, so you could take a picture of your group design costs and put it down there. Then you can come to see me. Obviously, if you're not here, if you're watching this, it's going to be tough. But once you have that done, then you can come and start to take pictures of the design process. Now, obviously, if you're out and you're not with your group, then you're not going to know what your group design is going to look like. You won't be able to fill this in. You're going to have to wait. But you can go ahead and plug in these numbers and then get it from your group when you come back. And if you are here and you're watching this just as a review, then you can go ahead and calculate that expense, and then you can buy whatever you need for your supplies. And I'll be keeping track of that on my chart here, where I have how much people have spent and all that sort of information. Okay? So hopefully that's helpful. Remember, this should be a good boost to your grade. You should be able to get, a good score on it that increases your grade. 60% is that set of slides here that I've been showing you. And the other 20% of it, another 20% is your packet, this thing that I've been walking through with you. And the last have to do with how you work for your group and the presentation that you do. Let me know if you have questions, but hopefully you can get yourself caught up so you're not too far behind. Thanks.